I guess we'll have to go with our alternative guest.
That was groundbreaking. Yes.
So, welcome to
Masteria.
We've done A. We've done B. Have we done C yet?
No.
And what's C called?
Miriam?
There we go. This is your surprise.
My surprise.
Please make your selection and leave.
I have.
What do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion? Look. Marion. Madam Librarian.
Touchdown every morning, 10 times, not just now and then. Give that chicken fat back to the chicken and don't be chicken again. No, don't be chicken again. Push up every morning, 10 times push up, starting low. Once more on the rise, nuts to the flabby guys. Go, you chicken fat, go away. Go, you chicken fat, go. 1, 2, next, sit-ups. Everybody's favorite, so on your back, drop. All right, girls, you're in this too. Arms overhead, flop. Come on, girls. Now, sit up. Sit down.
Every morning.
Up 10 times. Sit up. Down.
On your
Up.
seat.
Down.
5.
Swing that rusty gate.
6.
Don't drop the tempo, mate. Can't win dragging your feet. No, can't win dragging your feet. And halt.
Wasn't that invigorating?
That was invigorating.
You were wondering whether Carol Robidoux actually exercised to that song too.
At her school. That's
Because
right.
you're both
Everybody
from
did
Bucks
it.
County, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
As we found out, but not the rich part of Bucks County, which there was a famous writer, I can't remember his name, that used to write about people from there. What was his name? John Marcon? No, he wrote about Boston. There used to be these wasp Brahmins that used to write novels that are almost all forgotten now. And I remember my father died in 2007. He decided to read one of the novels again because he'd read it originally like published in the 40s, around 50s. He says, this is a world that never doesn't exist anymore, you know. Long gone, long gone. The old wasp world circled the drain.
For the best, maybe.
I don't know. Things aren't looking very good,
Things
you
are
know.
not looking very good.
They might have been SOBs, but they kept the gate well with their snobbery. I just wish I had my book on John Calhoun, where I could do Calhoun's indictment of Alexander Hamilton's American system and New York banking.
I need to take a look at that.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
I still like the musical, though.
Yes, and they tried to get us to watch 1776. Somehow, when I was in high school, because we had the bicentennial, you notice nobody gives a damn about the demisesquicentennial or whatever it is, the 250th year. They did have a big celebration the 150th year. But remember, the bicentennial was a big thing. So they brought to high school the musical 1776.
They did it in my middle school.
Which somehow I must have been skipping school that day. What about you, Eric? Have you ever seen the musical 1776?
I am not a huge fan of musicals.
You are not
no,
a big fan of musicals.
No.
Not even the old Warner Brothers musicals of the 30s, like Footlight Parade with Jimmy Cagney?
No,
And Ruby-
there are
what was her name?
very few musicals
Ruby
that
Kid.
I even own.
Yes, I'm not a big musical fan. The only one I like is My Fair Lady, because I love Audrey Hepburn, and it's based on Shaw's play. Pretty closely, too.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's a fun one. I like that
Fun
one.
one. What musicals do you like? Are you a
Whatever
musicals
else.
fan?
I like a few of them.
Well, don't be ashamed. Just because we're
I don't
uptight
know.
about them.
Hamilton's 1776 I liked.
Yes, Eric?
I'm a huge fan of the movie Grease. I think that's as close as I get to. Oh, okay, John.
We did try to do a Grease, and we were gonna. Didn't we try singing
We were
one of the
singing,
songs? But everything got screwed up. My fault, obviously.
Well, it was, I don't know, it wasn't even really your fault. It was, I think there was a very badly done karaoke that somehow that ended up being the thing we were trying
Oh,
to
right,
sing
because
with.
it had like
Like,
both
it was,
the things.
yeah, it was really messed up. And it
What's
was
what's the Olivia Newton-John's name? Sandy.
Sandy, that's right.
And then
Sandy.
what was the name of John Travolta's character?
Danny.
Andy? No.
Danny.
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 That's what he said, Danny.
So all of a sudden we had both of them. We were going to sing it together. Somebody was
Oh,
singing.
yeah,
I
it was.
think it was
I
you
was
and
going to
me.
sing it with Gonzo, and then I don't know. Gonzo decided.
I don't think Gonzo wanted to sing it. You know that I think that is Joyce Craig, a very important movie in her life. You know,
I liked it.
but I've never seen it. I have seen clips.
I was like 13 or something when it came out, and that was the kind of thing I would go to see.
Well, when I was 14, 15, I used to be down at the insurance office my mother worked with across from City Hall, and she did the People magazine with Olivia Newton-John on it, and I had a crush on her. I have some of her songs on here.
My dad loved her.
She was related to a Nobel Prize winner in physics. I know his name, but I'm 63 and they just don't come
They just
easy
don't
anymore.
Yeah.
Just like that Ringo Starr song, it don't come easy. Right. Geez, I'm running out of gas. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But we did find out while we were watching that clip that you had been a woman librarian, or they would call a lady librarian. Most
I mean, I was a
librarians were
student
ladies.
worker, so, but I did shelve the books.
In Silicon Valley, because of her abstracting indexing and that, which became digitized, and like Google and stuff come out of that, a lot of the workers were women because they'd been librarians. But I don't think Silicon Valley, unlike, say, like the telephone company, women didn't rise in it because it was very much a guy type of thing. Yes. How is your dog doing?
He is laying on the couch right now.
What's his name, by the way?
His name is Rocky.
And is he named after the movie that came out in the bicentennial?
Yes, he is named after Rocky Balboa.
He's named after Rocky Balboa, but not Rocky, the movie that came out.
Well, Rocky Balboa is the character.
Well, there was a movie called Rocky Balboa. These are the things, these differences, when they call it taxonomy. I used to do that professionally. Come on, Eric. Is he named after the movie or Rocky the character?
He's named after Rocky the character.
See, now we know.
Now we know for sure.
Is there anything you'd like to say to redeem your time on this show? Not, because I drove this bus into the mire. I'm just depressed today.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
You got to look at all of this politics as an interesting show. And, like George Carlin, don't worry about the outcome. It's whatever it is, it's going to be. Vote. I mean, but.
The only problem is I'm at a socioeconomic scale as a disabled veteran where there is a famous scene in The Big Lebowski with a Walter and a tire iron, and what he's shouting to the kid who he thinks has stolen the money is what's probably going to happen to me. Isn't it,
I don't
Eric?
remember what the line. I don't remember.
Well, we can't say it at all here.
Okay.
No, there is no way to say that.
You can't even clean it up to say
there
it.
just is not.
Oh,
I actually have watched The Big Lebowski edited on cable TV, and that scene is just, they should have just cut it altogether, because it's like watching Scarface on network television.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget, they had a Christian network like 30 years ago. It was like the first one. And they showed Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles. And they bleeped
And they destroyed
everything
it.
out except one thing. What do you think they left in? The N-word.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to have to be the
This
racist.
can't be-
the
this
racist,
can't be
yeah,
true.
it have to be the racist.
Every
of course.
every filthy word.
Oh, my gosh.
Even the farting was taken out.
That would be the one I would bleep.
I'm
I
sorry,
wouldn't
I'm
even
laughing,
bleep any of
but
the other stuff. I would just
it was
bleep that
just-
one, right?
It was just beyond belief. Well, even the time when that came out, that was shocking. It
Yeah.
was shocking.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. What's his name? Richard Pryor was one of the writers. He was supposed to be the sheriff, but he had a cocaine problem. Even then, they couldn't get insurance on him.
Cleavon Little was really good, though.
Oh yeah.
That's a great movie.
I used to watch it every year with my army friend of mine, but now he's in Hawaii, and I'm here.
When I was in college, we had intramural flag football, and my buddies and I called our team Plan 6.
What?
Man, 6.
Are we talking about Ed Wood movies now?
Blazing Saddles,
No, you're
the
thinking
old number
Plan 9.
6. Plan 6.
Oh yeah, well that's not something we want to talk about either. or can we have some more beans, Mr. Taggart?
I think you boys have had enough.
Slim Pickens was
He was
he originally wanted John Wayne in it, but Mel Brooks gave the script to John Wayne. Says, I won't be in it, but I'll pay. I'll go see it. Hey, let's change the background to the hat. All right, Eric, give us 5 minutes about the World Series. What's going on? What's happening in the World Series?
What's happening is Eric, to quote Easy G, has some massive egg on his face right now. Because last week I said I didn't see a way that the Phillies could be competitive with the Astros. And tonight they could take a 3-1 series lead with one more game left in Philly.
Yeah, that's the baseball World Series, though. In any other sport, a team that's favored is generally going to win, but not baseball.
And Bryce Harper is having a postseason for the ages.
Unlike Aaron August.
Yes, unlike Aaron August. I feel compelled to tell you, John, that my cousin loved that you said Aaron August.
I'm trying to trademark that, but it costs money. It costs money to trademark something like that. Yeah, and then they'll probably somebody will, yeah. Whenever you're in doubt of what you're going to say, just mumble.
I don't know what to say.
Worked well for Ronald Reagan. Well, Ronald Reagan did this. He put his ear. He'd always he wouldn't talk to the press unless he was under the Marine One, the helicopter.
Oh right.
Probably couldn't hear
I do
either.
that all the time.
Dutch.
So I had to listen to 5 minutes about why Aaron Judge was a bum.
He is a bum, but so what do you think's going to happen? Do you think the Phillies are going to pull it out?
I think tonight the pitching matchup is Aaron Nola versus Christian Javier. I think just on paper you would side with Javier, but Javier's a young guy. This might be a real tough spot for him. I think the Phillies pull it out tonight.
That would be something for the ages. But see, one of my best friends is a Nationals fan. And the Nationals and the Phillies fans hate each other. And what was Bryce Harper's team?
The Nationals.
That's right. And he wasn't there for the World Series they won in 2018. You know, that was a losing dog of a team when it came to the Montreals. And my friend had season tickets. And I went to 13 games with him, and they won all 13.
Whoa.
But they never invited me to the playoffs. So I always figured, well, the reason they're doing crappy in the playoffs is because I'm not there.
That's
Then they
right.
won the whole thing without me.
No, bummer.
That God shows you, folks, your worth, right?
The Montreal
Whatever your
Expos-
vanity is, it's going to be.
It's so sad to talk about the Expos because of the players they had when the strike happened in 1993.
Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. We won't go into that because I am part French-Canadian. And so we won't get into the Expos.
That's fair.
I was just thinking while I was my tale of woe. Hey, let's. What should we have as a background now, Brandon? Just Manchester. Surprise us with something else.
That'd be fun.
Is there anything you'd like to talk about for 5 minutes?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's
look,
like
black and white. That's a classic
there you go.
look.
That's a good look.
It is.
I like
If
black
we
and
go
white.
any further, we're going to wind up with somebody else's show, which I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all.
I came here with no plan of any sort, except to show up because I said I would.
But you did finally confess to being a librarian.
Yeah, I did some work in a library. It wasn't officially like you have to have a degree to, to be a librarian.
Many times I was on Norm the Psychic show, so I probably intuitively knew that. That's why I'm always calling you Marion.
Who is Norm the Psychic? And tell me more about this guy.
He's no longer with us,
Oh,
although he
sadly.
is. Yes.
So he came on here and he did a psychic show.
For 27 years.
There's some YouTubes. This sounds very
Yes,
strange. I need to go
Yeah,
and look
Don
at this.
Baldock.
I'm
You can
gonna-
go see General Don
It sounds
Baldock.
like that might be sort of entertaining. So
I have some videos of the Village people. They're very insulting to Rich Girard, but it's like beating a dead horse.
yeah.
There's many things I could say, folks, but they're so depressing. Like the young Democratic candidates attacking older candidates on some type of ideological purity type of grounds, and talking nothing about the actual people that these people are up against. Like we have one very Kevin Kavanaugh. He's running against this gas bag Gatsis. And you have these people insulting him because he voted for an ordinance, along with 12 of 14 aldermen, most all of them Democrats, that you can't have a shopping cart or umbrella in the park. Yeah, that's a reason, not to vote for Kevin Kavanaugh, right? And vote for Gas Bag, who is a hideous giant slug that leaves a trail of slime behind him.
Somehow there's people who vote for him.
There he is in back of Erich. I can see him, the pot belly. He's in his battle armor. Erich, are you a Gats? You can't vote for Gatsis, but you could send him money.
I don't think I've sent Matt Gatz money.
All right, now that's fine. I didn't know you 2 years ago when I was running, and not one soul sent me money. Actually, some people did, but one of the people was from France. And then my brother, I put down that he was sending me money.
That I voted for you, I think. I mean,
You should have. What was the alternative? Everybody should have voted for me. The only places I get any votes, though, are way out west. In our town. Around Jaffrey.
right.
What's the other town out there that always votes for me? Not Keene. No, they're a bunch of...
Peterborough, I don't know.
Peterborough. Yeah, Peterborough. Peterborough was very solidly for me.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. There were a bunch of liberals out there. And, I guess they skew a little higher economically, so they go out to vote. But I got no support at all from the New Hampshire or Manchester parties or anything. In fact, the Democrats aren't even... there's only one actual Democrat running countywide. This state, they can put, if like Tony Papps, who was the Republican I was running against last time, somebody writes her in on the Democratic side, so they put her on both sides of the ballot, except the Democratic votes don't count towards her. It doesn't make any sense. And then for another couple of jobs, like county attorney and something else, libertarians, they wrote in, so they're on both sides of the ballot. But the Democrats, what you do is you put a placekeeper in. You take like the vice chair of the party and stick them in there. They didn't even bother to do that. See, the New Hampshire primary is a curse, and that the party, the Democrats, are very focused on that. And they would be remiss, the top of the party, if they weren't, because that's so important. But that can lead to decay down in the grassroots, in my opinion. I might be wrong.
You might be right.
Well, I'd like to give
the
Democrats a blistering kick in the pants, but I'll wait.
Yeah, they're probably going to get a kick in the pants anyway, right?
Well, Bedford finally got a Democratic state rep last time. I was campaigning with them back in 2020.
Sue Mullen was.
Is that her?
She's a state rep, and she's Democrat. I thought she was Democrat.
Usually that's a
she was amazing. She was a counselor at the middle school.
Oh, well, why don't we talk her up?
Amazing. Well, I don't think she's even running now. I don't think she's running again.
Why not?
I don't know. She's done, maybe. She always ran a very respectful campaign. Like, she never said bad things about anybody. She refused
What's
to
the fun in
engage
that?
I don't know. I liked her because she was a kind person who could work with anybody.
So I'm not going to run the vicious video against Rich Girard because you've publicly shamed me.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Why? Anybody can go see it online anyway.
It's your show.
But you're my guest. You too, Eric, but you're from Iowa, and you're going to lose your caucus after November, so.
Oh, no.
To you. Oh, any comment about that? Everybody's telling us we're going to keep the New Hampshire primary.
For me,
it's good because I'm writing a book
I
about
can
it.
see why we would. I've done multiple caucuses now, and everyone, it's more and more unorganized.
I was going to use the F word for that, but we got into trouble last week because in a Martin Scorsese picture with Joe Pesci's in it, I thought I got all the F-bombs, but it was Harvey Keitel that I didn't get. Oh. And then I was so enamored of Sharon Stone's character, I left in the S-bombs and an F-bomb because I was just looking at her while I was, processing the video. Love. You should come when we're going to finish it up.
Oh,
have you ever seen Casino, Scorsese's movie?
I think I've probably seen part of it.
Unheralded masterpiece.
Absolutely.
Although I believe it would have a much better reputation if Harvey Keitel played the Joe Pesci role, because then people wouldn't think of it as Goodfellas too.
Oh yeah.
But if you look at photos of Anthony
It doesn't matter.
He looks a lot like Joe Pesci.
Well, guess what? Robert De Niro doesn't look anything like the Lefty Rosenthal, who he plays.
No, he doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, the actors don't have to look like the people.
That's right. But Laurence Olivier looked like Gracchus in Spartacus.
And Henry Hill looked nothing like Ray Liotta.
And who was that actor that was saying Precious in those Lord of the Dinglings movies? Precious.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis, yeah. He was on Family Guy doing an Alan Rickman impersonation once, and that was my
he was an excellent actor. But of course, he's just remembered for his character roles in big blockbusters.
Yeah.
Well, Alan Rickman was in all sorts of English movies. He's a great stage actor too.
Yeah.
Died unfortunately young.
Yes.
But he played that memorable villain in the original Die Hard.
Hans Gruber.
He really.
Hans Gruber.
I'm a big Alan Rickman fan, so.
Oh, you are.
Oh yeah.
So you like Truly, Madly, Deeply?
I do. Oh,
it's a great movie. We should come and
talk
talk about that.
Oh my gosh,
it's so sad at the end.
It is, but beautiful. I really
like because they're both
what they did with
excellent
it.
actors.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's a good one.
We only got a minute left.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're not going into the gutter because of Miriam here. She brings the
if you
show to higher moral
I don't know if you can
heights.
attribute that to me, but
I definitely feel like I've achieved a higher level today.
oh,
Yes,
good.
yes, we haven't had one F-bomb slip by us.
I'm good at preventing that in myself, at least. I don't throw a lot of f-bombs until I'm home.
So Sue Mullen's not running, so
I
your
don't know,
spiel
I
for
should-
her
yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
helping.
I don't know if she's running. I didn't think so. I don't see her name anywhere.
I
right now.
say,
my
folks,
understanding is that she's not.
If you're a Democrat or you're leaning towards Democrat, go vote. But if you are
Please.
undecided, leaning the other way, I think you should stay home because you'll break my heart otherwise. And you'll get one of those shows where I'm
We'll
really
get that surprise,
bitchy.
maybe it'll be a very surprising thing.
You get the trumpet things in your hour.
Who's that?
Okay, folks, we will see you next week if I haven't hung myself.
Oh,
And we're going to talk about Casino again. Maybe you can come in again. We can talk about Alan Rickman.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Although you have a very busy schedule, as they say. Schedule. Adios, folks. Bye.